Okay, plenary session 3 speakers will please come to the head table now. May we call on Dr. Likwanan is here, Dr. Jongsuk Kim, Dr. Ursula Schaefer-Preyos, and Socorro Reyes. Nasaan na kayo, Sok? May we request all participants to now occupy their respective seats so we can begin the session. 1:30 to 5:30 max. 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. We have the afternoon from 1:30 to 5:30 for plenary 3. And we are hoping that tonight we will all get energized with the African night. So I hope you will still have time between 5:30 to 7:30 to prettify yourselves and get ready for the dancing tonight. Don't tell me that I did not warn you, huh? Okay. Do we have our speakers all on the table now? Dr. Oser, I thought Dr. Preyus was here earlier. Can somebody please call her? May we request?
Yes, we got your question.
Hello? Hello? Hi? Okay, I'm sure you're here now. Okay, Dr. Preyus had come much earlier, so we're just requesting somebody to fetch her from the coffee shop. So she will be joining us in a short while. Meantime, can we please have... We'd like to begin the session now. Can we put off the music first? Okay. Plenary session 3, as you will note, is about mainstreaming gender in legislation in aid of climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction. This is the challenge to women in politics and governance. In other words, the challenge to women parliamentarians and, of course, to the other sectors as well. This afternoon, we have the pleasure of having someone from a college professor, and who has a PhD in politics from the State University of New York at Buffalo, and is currently the president of the Women's Institute for Negotiation and Leadership. She was also formerly director of the Korean Institute for Women and Politics, and has been a lecturer during the past year on climate change, the only lecturer so far on climate change in Korea. We have the pleasure of Dr. Juni Ju as chair of plenary session 3. May I now turn over the floor to Dr. Juni Ju. Can we give a round of applause?
Thank you for the kind introduction. Now we are beginning plenary session 3, and this is about mainstreaming gender in legislation in aid of climate change, adaptation, and disaster risk reduction. And we're going to look at the challenge to women in politics and governance. So our focus will be on what legislators can do at the national level to deal with climate change, adaptation, and disaster risk reduction, which we will call CCA and DRR. We have 5 people who will be presenting papers today. And I would like each one of you to limit your presentation to 20 minutes maximum. So please try to be succinct and get to the point. And it'll be nice if you could finish your presentation in 15 minutes so that all these women leaders could raise questions and have answers to their questions and concerns. So I would like each participant to limit their presentation to 20 minutes. That's going to be the maximum. And also, after the presentation of papers, we are going to have discussion, the question and answer sessions. So on each table, we have the papers for questions. So please, when it's time for you to raise questions, talk to people next to you, to your left and to your right, so that what is the most important issue to be raised and answered. So we'll have one person from each table, if possible, to come out and present your opinions and perspectives from each region. And then when we still have time, then we'll receive other questions from the participants. So in raising your questions, discuss with other members by the table, and then come up with one question from one table. Let's try that for this session. Okay. So plenary session 3, we are going to start with a paper, A Journey to Equality by Dr. Patricia Likuanan, who is the chair of Preparatory Commission and Main Committee, United Nations Fourth World Conference on Women. So let me introduce Dr. Patricia Likuanan. Okay, she's a social psychologist, educator, and women's rights activist. Her teaching, research, and practice in social psychology focus on human factors in the national development process, education and educational reform, social issues, human resource development, and gender issues. She holds a master's degree in psychology from Cornell University and a PhD in social psychology from the Pennsylvania State University. She has been a professor and chair of the Department of Psychology and academic vice president of the Ateneo de Manila University. At present, she is president of Miriam College, an educational institution aggressively committed to gender equality and the empowerment of women. So let me welcome Professor Dr. Patricia Likuanan.
Good afternoon. My paper is the longer version of my paper title is The Journey from Beijing, the Long, Winding, and Bumpy Road Toward Equality, Development, and Peace. I have been asked to give a bit of a historical background to some of the issues we are involved in today. And of course, Beijing refers to the United Nations Fourth World Conference on Women held in Beijing, China in 1995. And the theme was Action for Equality, Development, and Peace. The assumption being that equality is necessary in order to achieve development and peace. And the conference came out.